In the next 5 minutes, I'm gonna show you how to lose body fat, and it is so simple that 99% of you won't even do it. So prove me wrong. I'm gonna teach you how to figure out your calories. I'm gonna teach you what you need, what foods you need to be eating, and then how much you need to be eating. So what you'll need from the shops first is you'll need some bathroom scales, you will need a tape measure, you will need lots of containers. I recommend glass containers, they last longer. You will also need some kitchen scales. A bonus is a 1 liter drink bottle. When it comes to food, packet rice is super easy. You just cut open the top, put it in the microwave. Chicken breast, this is already diced and cooked, but just get raw chicken breast so you can cook it yourself. You're gonna get some almonds. If you're allergic to nuts, you can get avocado. And you're gonna get some broccoli or your choice of low calorie vegetable. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna use our bathroom scales to weigh ourselves. Once we've got our weight, we're gonna take our tape measure to see how tall we are. We're gonna go onto our phones and we're gonna Google calorie calculator. Now you're gonna put in your weight, you're gonna put in your height, and you're gonna put in your age. This will spit out how many calories that you need to be eating per day to get close towards your goal. So you can put in there whether you wanna lose weight, whether you wanna maintain weight, or whether you wanna gain weight. It'll also ask for your activity level, and I highly recommend that you underestimate how active you are. It'll spit out a number. Once you have that number, you're gonna divide it by 4. Because most people eat between 3 and 5 meals a day. 4 is sort of that sweet spot. It's also really easy to divide the number up. So if it's 2,000 calories, it's obviously 500 calories per meal. That way you've got 4 meals across the day, and they're not as spread out as what it would be with 3. And the simplest way to do this is to figure out 30% of that 500 calories for protein, 30% for fat, and then 40% for carbs. So you need 150 calories from fat, 150 calories from protein, and 200 calories from carbs. Now, protein and carbs are 4 calories per gram. So what we'll need is 38 grams of protein per meal. We'll need 50 grams of carbs per meal. Fat, on the other hand, is 9 calories per gram. So we'll only need 16 grams of fat. All right, let's make our 4 meals. You're gonna get your containers, and you're gonna do the exact same thing in all 4 containers. Starting off with our protein. For 38 grams of protein, you'll need about 120 grams of chicken. So just make sure that you weigh it once it's cooked. So I'm gonna take out 120 grams of this and then fill up my container until the scales say that I'm at 120 grams. Once I've done that, I'm gonna get my rice packet. This is 250 gram bag. 125 grams is 40 calories. Now I need 50 calories, which allows 10 calories to come from whatever sources I wanna put on top of this to make it taste better. So just use half a packet for your first container, the other half packet for the next container. You can pretty much go unlimited, so just fill up the container with the rest of low calorie vegetables. As for the nuts, you can add them to the container, or you can just have a little side container. With almonds, it's half a gram of fat per gram. So if we want 16 grams of fat per meal, we're gonna need 32 grams of almonds. Do the same thing again, zero out the scales and measure out 32 grams of almonds per meal for your 4 meals throughout the day. Now you might want to take away a couple of those almonds if the sauce that you decide to put on top of your chicken and rice has a high fat content. Now with your water bottle, depending on how much you weigh, nearly everyone is going to have to drink at least 2 liters of these. If you're sort of above 80 kilos, maybe 3 liters. If you're above 100 kilos, you probably want more than 4 liters of water per day, with an extra liter for every hour of exercise. Last but not least, 3 or 4 times a week, you need to be lifting weights. So squatting, bench pressing, doing push-ups and pull-ups if you can't do pull-ups, lat pull-downs, training the full body. You want to take your muscles to within 2 to 3 reps of failure as long as your technique is really good. And you want to do about 15 to 20 sets per body part per week. Now, as a bonus, if you don't want to do this meal prep, because I know a lot of people get sick of this really quickly, so other ways that you can cut your calories is shortening your eating window. So instead of eating from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., just eat from like 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That way you're cutting off those 2 hours on either end, so you're going to consume less calories in the day. Another way is to cut out a whole macronutrient. So if you completely cut out carbs and you just eat fats and proteins, you're going to be cutting out about 30 to 40% of your calories per day, so you'll lose weight doing that as well. And finally, downloading something like MyFitnessPal. Keep eating exactly what you're eating, but just weigh and measure it so you know what your portions need to be, and you know what you're lacking in, whether it means that you're having not enough protein or you're not having enough fats. That is it. It is simple as that. The what to do is simple. The how to do it is also simple. The why is the only reason that you're not going to do it. If you don't have a strong enough why, if the reason that you want to change your body doesn't get you out of bed every morning to lift weights, then maybe you just don't want it that bad.